started.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Intercepted. Pick six. Watkins.
Wendell downhill, Chris.
S.J. Green. An absolute beauty.
Oh, it could be such a great fan experience, especially in Montreal. The Alouettes back in town, trying to end a 2-game losing streak, and they're taking on a very tough Edmonton Eskimos defense. Rakeem Cato. He got that start in week 2 against Calgary, and he has been the starter since. Very impressive despite the loss last week in Ottawa for the rookie quarterback at 23 years of age. Let's talk football. Let's watch football. Thursday Night Football on TSN. We're glad you could join us for the start of Week 8. I'm Rod Smith, and here is the panel. Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz for the first meeting of the year between the 4-2 Edmonton Eskimos and the 2-4 Montreal Alouettes. What do they have in common? Well, last week they both lost games they felt they should have won, and they lost both of them by the score of 26-23. Don't you know? What are you looking for in this game, Milt?
Well, I'm looking at Mac Nichols. He needs to come out and play well early. If not, I could see Chris Jones taking him out and putting James Franklin in. You see what Matt Nichols did last week in that second half. 7 punts, 2 turnovers, 5 2-and-outs, and 24 yards passing in the fourth quarter. James Franklin took some of the first-team reps earlier in the week. Matt Nichols struggles early. James Franklin will definitely be in this game.
Milt, we talked about John Bowman, rush end from Montreal, being our lineup. How about Chad Simpson after rushing the ball 17 times or touching the ball 17 times for 152 yards last week in a loss to BC? He's out of the lineup, and this guy draws in. Shakir Bell, first-year player from Indiana State. Wonderful back. This is a price of admission right here. This guy, he's last in the league at 268 yards rushing, but listen to this. 79% of his rushing yards comes after contact, Schultz. This guy makes people miss. He's worth the price of admission. 79% yards after contact. Unbelievable number.
And for both of these offenses, I think patience is a key virtue tonight. I think with Cato, Rakeem Cato in Montreal, man, the kid between the first 20 yards, I agree with what you say. He's under pressure. And no Adarius Bowman tonight. So significant because Adarius Bowman has a reach like this big. And I am telling you right now, when you got a reach this big, you don't have to be accurate with your throws. This big. That's how big his reach is.
You could have gone like biggest reach out here.
But my reach is like this. I was no good, Schultz. I'm no good with my reach.
Well, let me also tell you. Okay, David Bunnan.
You got alligator reach.
We'll discuss reach later. David Bunnan of Thorsby, Alberta. You can win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck with that, David. The Alouettes, big one for them with their Eastern rivals, all 4 points ahead. Taking on the Edmonton Eskimos, Rod Black and Glenn Suter will have the call from Percival Molson Stadium, Thursday Night Football on TSN.
Feek. Eskimos, Alouettes. Hello, Canada. Hello to those of you watching in the United States on ESPN2. It is Thursday Night Football in Montreal.
Two names on the marquee are in the receiving corps. It starts with Fred Stamps, former Edmonton Eskimo, accumulated over 8,000 yards and 49 touchdowns in over 100 games with the Edmonton Eskimo. He is now a Montreal Alouette, and the guy the Edmonton Eskimos got in the trade was Kenny Stafford, just outside the top 10 in the CFL, 27 catches, over 300 yards. Both teams feel like they have won the trade.
Both teams come into this game with a chip on their shoulder pad. Losses last week. Chris Jones says they have to shore up. They won't have Adarius Bowman in the lineup this week. Lost to BC. Tom Higgins lost down the road in Ottawa. No John Bowman. Healthy scratch tonight for the Alouettes. We're ready to roll here on a Thursday night on the slope of Mount Royal on McGill University's campus. Grant Shaw is going to get it started here. Away we go. Back to get it is Steph Logan. Behind some cover here. Logan cuts back and he'll go down near the 35-yard line. So the Montreal offense, led by 23-year-old Rakeem Cato out of Marshall University, comes to the field.
Yeah, there's Cato, 300 yards passing last week in the loss to the Ottawa Redbacks. Back-to-back losses when you go back to the Calgary game 2 weeks ago, but they do get Terrell Sutton back in the lineup. He will play alongside Brandon Rutley, will also be here. And there's Fred Stamps facing his former team. And when Nick Lewis did it against Calgary, he had his best game as an Alouette. We'll see if Stamps can do it tonight.
Stamps has not scored a touchdown as an Alouette. Maybe that will happen tonight against his former mates.
Up against the top defense in the Canadian Football League. They lead the CFL with 19 takeaways. And when you're talking about interceptions, look no further than John Ojo and Patrick Watkins, both tied for first with 3 picks. Both have touchdowns off interceptions. And I put in Otha Foster, 21 tackles on the season, had a sack last week against the BC Lions, and he's coming on.
3-man rush. Cato with time, stands up, goes deep, in traffic, and looking for the shot right away to Fred Stamps, who could not haul that in double coverage. So a very quick 2-and-out for the Alouettes.
Well, the ball was there, and Stamps had a shot at it. It's a long crossing route from the right of your screen as the Alouettes try and get it to Stamps right out of the gate. Runs a nice route, in behind coverage, off his hands. Should have had it.
Boris Beatty. Big boot. Will bounce out of bounds near the 31-yard line. 42-yard kick. Matt Nichols, his first sequence.
So the other half of the trade, as we mentioned off the top, there's Kenny Stafford. And he's coming along nicely. They like what he's doing. They're going to lean on him a lot more because, as you mentioned, Rod, Darius Bowman out of the lineup tonight. They do get Shakir Bell back in the offensive lineup at tailback, and I put in Tony Washington playing that left tackle. Aaron Laverius playing for John Bowman tonight.
3-man rush for the Owls. They swing it out to Wallace Miles. Miles in his 4th game with the Eskimos. Has about 4 yards, make it 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 to go.
There's Aaron Laverius playing for John Bowman, who's now missed just 4 games in the last 7 years. This because he's a healthy scratch. To get Kyrisse Bear in the lineup for the first time this year. Had an ankle injury off the 6th game. Dominic Ellis plays for Gerald Brown on the 1-game injured for this one.
Tom Higgins said Bear will play about a third of the plays. He's on the field right now. Nichols goes over the top, and it is picked off. Chip Cox has it. He's got some room and some blocks, and Chip Cox brings it close to the 26-yard line. Matt Nichols' 2nd pass of the ball game picked off. Tip drill. Chip Cox, 2nd interception of the season. Instant field position for the Montreal Alouettes. Kyler Ellsworth tipped it to Cox. His 2nd pick of the season, former star out of Ohio.
Corey Watson's running a crossing route here and has first down territory. The ball placement from Matt Nichols, not good. It's behind him. It tips off the fingertips. Would have been a very tough catch for Watson crossing the field. Ellsworth keeps it alive right into the hands of Chip Cox.
Rakeem Cato pumps and then goes. Faked the hitch and then got tripped up. Just past the initial line of scrimmage.
Matt Nichols having some interception issues in the last 2 games, 2 against BC. That's his first tonight. Same can be said for Rakeem Cato. A little careless with the ball in the loss against the Ottawa Red Blacks a week ago, and he's worked with his coaching staff on correcting those mistakes. We'll see if he can here.
Those 2 mistakes came in this area near the score zone. Cost the Alouettes some valuable points. Cato's got good time here. Now he decides to tuck it and take it. Rakeem Cato goes forward. Aaron Grimes had him in his crosshairs. Cato's close to a first down. This may require a measurement. Looks like he's going to be a little bit short.
Shows you how he can move in the pocket and extend plays, though. It looks like J.C. Sherritt's going to step up and be in that hole. One of the best tacklers in the league, and Sherritt gets in there. But Rakeem Cato finds that opening, finds the lane. Sherritt overcompensated a little bit to the field side, and he's going to be real close. Now it's concern for Edmonton. Is that Armando Sewell that is down on the field?
Yeah, he's
looking at his left ankle, his left leg.
Clutching his leg, and one of the valuable members of this feared front 4. Armando Sewell team that has accumulated 19 sacks this season, and most of them coming from that front four.
Well, if I were to pick the two best interior D linemen in the league right now, Ted Laurent and Elmondo Sewell would be top of the list, and he just gets that leg stuck in the turf, I think, when he's working the double team, which he often does. Watch how he pushes in that double team. Now he gets the single, Christian Matt, and then you see the right leg get stuck and the left leg kind of buckled underneath him. And then his own teammate rolls on the back of his leg. So taking a look at the left ankle.
6'4", 288-pound Elmondo Sewell. Former Akron Zip go to the sideline.
Well,
it's going to be third down for the Alouettes. It's short, and they brought out their big team.
Mentioned this team, this defense for Edmonton that has led the league in takeaways. You lead the league in takeaways when you're getting pressure up front.
There's Kavis Reed. Not too long ago, he was the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos. Took time off last year. After being fired in Edmonton, Chris Jones took over. He's now the special teams coordinator here in Montreal. So his first game against his old team. Tanner Marsh, Glenn Suter is back, healthy, off the 6-game injured list, and he is the backup quarterback, short yardage quarterback, but they're not bringing in the third down team here. Marsh instead is going to hold for Boris Beatty. They decide to take the points here.
Unless they have something on from this formation.
3rd and 1. Usually Brandon Bridge holds for Beatty.
Let's see if they can draw him offside.
Time count violation. Montreal number 4. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
So because Tanner Marsh came off the 6th game, he'll handle the holding duties as well, and that's going to be interesting for Boris Beatty. I'm sure they've been working on it, but he's been working with Brandon Bridge, the rookie kicker, with a rookie quarterback holder over the first 6 games. He's been 14 of 15. So now they move it back, and it's a kick from the 30-yard line to put the Alouettes on the board. So 3 points off that Chip Cox interception. Montreal strikes first here tonight. 11.5 minutes to go. It's Thursday night football in Montreal. Eskimo fans here too. Eskimos, a little payback after their loss in BC last week. Quite a surprising move tonight. John Bowman not playing, not because of injury, a healthy scratch. This was the Owls before the game.
Let's go. 50 minutes of football. Yeah, time for number 7, baby. He's done nothing but have blood, sweat, and tears for this organization. Play for the person.
The words of Josh Burke before the game. This is for number 7.
Playing for number 7, not dressed tonight, and a shock, really. Aaron Laverius playing in his spot.
1st and 10. Shakir Bell. Penalty flag down is pushed back by Corvey Irvin. But a penalty flag just as that play started. Our referee tonight is Tom Valese.
Well, they worked that out. Here it comes.
There's no flag on the play.
5 of the last 6 years, John Bowman's been in double figures in sacks, and begs the question: has he lost a step? Is that the reason for this? We asked Tom Higgins that. He said no. He said, everyone has an expiration date, and as you get older, you get closer to that. And Higgins talked to him during the week. Said you're going to rest him for a game.
Blitz coming off the edge. Big catch made by Wallace Miles, and a fumble. Fumble football, and Kyler Ellsworth is going to score his first CFL touchdown. The Edmonton Eskimos right now can't hang on to the football.
Billy Parker makes the tackle, and he twists Wallace Miles to the ground. The question for me was, Was Miles down by contact before the ball came out? It looked like it came out late. There's the catch. Clearly he's still up and trying to gain extra yards.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Boy, that's close, Suits.
The left knee looked like it was touched. Now let's see if the ball, if we get a couple of other angles of that to see if the ball came out before the knee touched the ground. It's not down at this point, and then Parker makes the tackle, knee down.
Wow. How close is that? You know, might have to blow up his knee to see how close it is to the turf.
This is almost simultaneous where the knee touches. Here's one other angle for you. Now we lose the knee. Let's go back to that angle, the previous one, and slow it right down here. Billy Parker on the tackle. Knee touches.
Yeah, look at the
now.
Ball's out.
It did look like that ball had come out just prior to the knee touching.
Billy
But this
Parker
is close.
Forces the fumble. Kyler Ellsworth then scampers to the end zone, 41 yards, and it's all dependent on the review. They review scoring plays and turnovers, so right now they are looking at it back at CFL command.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So the former Michigan State walk-on, Kyler Ellsworth. You talk about tough shoes, big shoes to fill this season.
Yeah, Bear Woods. Yeah, big time. The heart and soul of the defense, and he's coming on. Tom Higgins told us that Ellsworth playing better every game out. Big play.
Boris Beatty, the 1-point convert, and it's going to be short. Dexter McCoyle, and the point after is no good. That's the first point after that has been missed after 14 in a row from the kickers last week. Huge play by Kyler Ellsworth and Billy Parker. 9-0 Alouettes.
Two turnovers for the Edmonton Eskimos offensively. There's the reaction from the Montreal head coach on the extra point not being made.
And Tanner Marsh, who was on the 6th game. Brandon Bridge, who was, there's Brandon, Mississauga native, Canadian quarterback, now the 3rd string quarterback, was backing up Rakeem Cato until Marsh came back. So they've had to do some shuffling this week with the 6th game having expired and players coming off.
Well, Tom Higgins told us today that Rakeem Cato made a couple of poor decisions last week. He's a young quarterback that will go through some ups and downs, and if he goes through too many of those valleys, then Tanner Marsh will become an option, even though he's just practiced a couple of times since returning from the 6th game injured list.
Well, the Edmonton Eskimos have given up 9 points on 2 turnovers. Kendall Lawrence tripped up on that special teams play by Anthony Cody, former Montreal Caravan and 5th-round draft pick.
You know, this has been interesting for the Edmonton Eskimos. I mentioned their defense leading the league in takeaways with 19 coming into this week. And when you take a look at their giveaway take, they're +2, which is 3rd in the CFL. But they also lead the league in the giveaway department. That's obviously not a good thing, and they've got 2 turnovers already.
Shakir Bell. Drop there by Alan Michael Cash. Tries to get outside. Shakir Bell, who missed last week with a concussion.
It happened against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Edmonton's big win there. They've ever been good at Commonwealth Stadium. Defense has not allowed a touchdown at Commonwealth, and we're on a 4-game win streak when lost last week to BC out at BC Place.
Kenny Stafford, his first catch back in Montreal. Traded for Fred Stamps in January. Said he was shocked the day it happened. Traded for Fred Stamps, who now is an Alouette. Bradshaw averages 44 yards a punt. End over end. Steph Logan watches it bounce. He'll induce a 5-yard no yards penalty. There's no flag. Certainly looked like it might have been no yards. Mike Miller was downfield. There is a flag. It was underneath Steph Logan. So Rakeem Cato brings his offense back. Guy at one time he was Marshall. Now he is Montreal. Thursday night football rolls on from Quebec. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Sun setting in Montreal on this beautiful Thursday night. Not a lot of offense so far. Two big defensive plays by Montreal, just 12 yards in offense from both sides. Cato now airs it out. Snared there. Aaron Grimes making the tackle finally on S.J. Green, who last week went over the 6,000-yard mark for his career. He comes in as the CFL's leading receiver.
And maybe the most dynamic, and is making a living and a habit out of the spectacular. And this one is routine. Good throw. Locates the ball on the outside shoulder because Aaron Grimes was sitting on his inside hip, and S.J. Green gets things going out of the gate.
Looks like he chose the red shoes. Chatted with him before the game. He came out with one red, one white. Cato wanted to go, and in came that ferocious rush. Dion Lacey drops Rakeem Cato in his tracks. 20 sacks now for the Edmonton Eskimos this season.
Yeah, Dion Lacey, who's leading the CFL in special teams tackles, is getting a chance here to play some defense because you earn that opportunity when you play well on the teams. And he just picks his way, finds his hole, and runs right by Christian Matt.
20 sacks, leads the CFL. Cato, quick trigger. Well short of a first down, though, on 2nd and 17. And Nick Lewis, the veteran, former Stampeder, hauls it in. Once again, the punt team will come out for the Alouettes here midway through this opening quarter.
Well, when you think about that decision from Rakeem Cato, and I'm sure Nick Lewis talking about it, saying, hey, good decision. You know, sometimes not a bad thing to punt, keep the Edmonton Eskimos bottled up, and they've been turning it over to the Montreal defense.
Kendall Lawrence is going backwards. Now he cuts back. Now he's chased down. He's got running room. Kendall Lawrence finally steps out of bounds. Nice return that time for Kendall Lawrence up near the 40-yard line on a 43-yard kick and a 28-yard return for Kendall Lawrence, former Missouri Tiger. He's had 4 touchdowns for the Eskimos this season, one even in the pouring rain. Thursday night football on TSN continues. Quest for gold at the FIBA Women's Championship for basketball continues tonight. 2 3-0s, Cuba, Canada. Canada's toughest test yet. Tip-off live at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific over on TSN2.
Had a good chat with Ed Hervey, the general manager for the Edmonton Eskimos, about the trade that saw the Edmonton Eskimos pick up Kenny Stafford for Fred Stamps, the perennial all-star, over 8,000 yards. And you said, you know, it really was a trade that suited both teams quite well. We wanted a guy with a little more size at 6'3", Kenny Stafford, taller than Fred Stamps. And we wanted that youth that could get down the field and be a deep threat. They feel like they have that in Stafford. The Alouettes needed a veteran.
Shakir Bell dragged down by Winston Venable. So Kenny Stafford has a homecoming of sorts tonight. And he's not a GM, but you know what he said? He said it's a good deal for both teams.
Edmonton Eskimos gave up a great football player for me. They received a great football player in my eyes too. but I was an unknown. I haven't done anything in this league. Still really haven't done anything in this league. To me, doing something is having 1,000 yards. To being that great football player, being an all-star, being that go-to guy in the fourth quarter that your team, everybody knows in the stadium we're going to, and you still get the job done. That's being a great football player, and Fred Stamps has done that.
Well, Jonathan Hefney's a great football player, too, and he just took one back from the Edmonton Eskimos. Third turnover now, and they were looking for Kenny Stafford.
Yeah, he was the intended target as he was talking, and what a well-spoken guy he was. But as that was happening, well, he was the inside and got jammed up right at the mesh point when he was trying to make his break. It looked like Matt Nichols was trying to decide between the two, and Hefney gets his third.
Two picks and a fumble already. This two tailback system for the Alouettes. Terrell Sutton drawing back in this week. Brandon Rutley played last week. They'll go to both backs, sometimes employ them both in the backfield. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 here.
Well, you heard Matt Dunnigan talk before the game in the pregame show about the ratio and how Tom Higgins may have been balancing some things out, trying to get the internationals in different positions on the field, possibly part of the John Bowman decision.
Cato now. Here's the rush again. Pressure. Cato's going down. Willie Jefferson will roll.
Well, you said it in the break, Rod. I mean, this is a game that we should expect the defenses to play well. It'll likely be low scoring, and I'm sure the Edmonton defense isn't done yet, and who knows, they may score tonight as well. Montreal Alouettes defense already has.
Look at the pressure here, Suits.
5-man rush. No escape lane for Rakeem Cato.
Off the side of Boris Beattie's foot, there's a penalty flag because the ball cannot travel in the air between the 20-yard lines. So they'll tack some yardage on there. Missed kick by Beattie. Again, 2 sacks so far for the Edmonton Eskimos. Not surprising, the Eskimos are putting some heat on Cato. When we chatted with them yesterday, they talked about giving a lot of pressure, taking away his feet.
Great job, Will.
His ability to escape.
I ain't with that.
I also noticed something that the Edmonton Eskimos could be doing here, and that's to...
Illegal punt out of bounds, Montreal. Holding, Edmonton. Objectionable conduct, Edmonton.
Wow.
We'll balance all those penalties at the previous line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down.
I'm going to need a calculator for all that. But one thing I noticed from Chris Jones' defense, it looks like they've got J.C. Sherritt spying. There's Sherritt right there, and watch how he's going to spy Rakeem Cato here. Not really get up the field, he just sort of shuffles, and he looks like he's waiting. And if he's going to scramble, J.C. Sherritt wants to track him on the scramble. Now, there wasn't a lane to get through for Cato on that play. Let's watch and see if they do that with Sherritt as this game goes on.
Even Cato yesterday told us, you know, this is going to be a challenge against this very stout Edmonton defense, that front 7. So it'll be 3rd and 15 after the penalties. The Alouettes will boot again. So Boris Beattie with a half-legger trying to pin them, and he does. So that works out way better for the Owls. For Boris Beattie, that's only his 4th kick inside the 10-yard line so far this season, and it was just a chip shot. Well placed. It's a long field now for the Eskimos with under 4 to go in this opening quarter.
Well, right now for Edmonton, Rod, you got to believe that a 1st down or 2 and a punt would be a successful offensive series for Chris Jones' group. Right now, 3 series, 3 turnovers. And he's shaking his head about it.
Matt Nichols in his 6th start of the season to the injury to Mike Riley. Nichols now going deep and trying to run underneath it. Wallace Miles again without one of his favorite targets in a Darius Bowman this week. So already a bit of a challenge here for Nichols and company.
I stand corrected. It's 3 turnovers in 4 series. We see this often when offenses try and throw from deep in their own end, the deep ball to just get them out of trouble in one throw. Doesn't work, and now you got 2nd and long in your own end zone.
And they may have to give up 2 here if they can't get to that first down stick. Nichols fires. There it is. First down, far side. Darrell Walker.
In the lineup for Adarius Bowman, but not necessarily playing in Bowman's spot. You're going to see Kenny Stafford play there in different formations. But Walker, precise route to just run that curl and then turn outside just at the first down marker.
Former Texas A&M Aggie who used to catch footballs from Johnny Manziel. First down for the Eskimos. The Alouettes. Kendall Lawrence is pushed out of bounds. They chase down Lawrence, who operates in that scat back position.
But a big play by Walker. Even if this drive stalls, at least Edmonton has a chance to punt it and get some field position back.
Second down and 7. Crowds into it here tonight. Making it tough on Nichols. Bursting outside is Bell and cutting back. Shakir Bell with a first down.
2 guys, reasons for the success on this play. The first is Matt Nichols, because he changes the side of the play. Now he's going to go to Bell, but just before the snap, Nichols had Bell on his left side. He got up there to the line of scrimmage, and he audibled out of it to put Bell on his right. He saw the soft spot in the defense, gets Bell the ball in his hands on the right side of the offensive formation, and he does the rest.
Shakir Bell, who has yet to score a touchdown for the Eskimos. Limited time here. Once again, it's Walker. First CFL game, has 2 catches already. They saw him on the radar screen, though, back in preseason. He had 4 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, and they've said Darius Bowman should probably be back next week, that he's got a few nicks, and it was a good time to give him a game off. Get a good long look at Walker.
Walker and Devin Bailey are the wideouts. Now they switch that up with Miles, and it's a fumble football again. Did you see Matt Nichols' reaction? Shakir Bell unable to hang on, but they got it back. This Edmonton team, by the way, has fumbled the football more than any other in the CFL.
Montreal number 95. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Wouldn't have mattered because Corby Irvin was offside. But yes, the Eskimos have fumbled the football 11 times this season, given it up 7 times. That's a lot.
Well, you saw the frustration from Matt Nichols after this messed up exchange to Shakir Bell. Looked like Nichols wasn't sure if Bell had it. Bell wasn't sure if Nichols was going to pull it, and he kind of threw his hands in the air after that. Nichols did.
Still 1st and 10, though. Nichols in. Bit of a miscommunication there as he was looking for Devin Bailey, former SateFX star.
Well, Jonathan Hefney jumped it. That was going to be a hitch screen to Devin Bailey. Just a little 5-yard hitch. And Jonathan Hefney jumped it downhill, and that's why Matt Nichols had to pull it up, stop the throw, or he was looking at a pick 6.
Second down conversions. The Eskimos also last in the CFL in this category. Look out! Nichols goes down. Michael Clausen sacks the Eskimo quarterback.
It looks like Justin Sorensen thinks that Kyrisse Bear is going to go. There's Kyrisse Bear. Now watch Sorensen move to that side to try and look for the blitzing A Bear, and then Clausen, number 90, just kind of runs free.
That's his 2nd sack of the season. That's as easy as they come.
Good job, D.
Former Calgary Dino, Michael Clausen. Kickers have been busy so far. Last play, 1st quarter. Logan, look out now as quarterback Jordan Lynch has his 4th special teams tackle of the season.
Jordan Lynch going to mess around and lead the league in tackles. He keeps this up on special teams.
3rd string quarterback. The guy can run, though.
Illegal block. Montreal number 21. 10-yard penalty, and we'll have one more play in the quarter.
Cannot end a quarter on a penalty. So there's Jordan Lynch. Has a couple touchdowns already out of Northern Illinois. Was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Got to play with the Chicago Bears in a preseason game. He actually played fullback.
Yeah, great athlete, clearly, because that would have come back anyway. But it looked like to me that Stephon Logan may have had the edge. He might have had that corner, and he was run down by Lynch.
9-0 lead, Alouettes. Final play, barring penalty. Look at the line. Eskimos loaded up. Here they come. There goes the football. Wide open. Look out. And down the sideline goes Alex Charette.
That's a bust in the Edmonton secondary.
The 4th round pick this year, Alex Charette. Quite a rookie season. Almost had his first touchdown. Former Guelph Griffin, big play for the Alouettes, a 53-yarder. And a defensive-minded first quarter. All Owls, 9-0 on Thursday night. Foot scored yet.
Defense has.
Defense has. It's been, and we might expect that.
Yeah.
Thursday night football tonight, 9-0 Alouettes, and guess that. Alouettes, and guess that's going to be the theme of the night.
It could be 2 young quarterbacks against, very good defenses on both sides. We've seen the Alouette defense already score, and don't be surprised at all if Edmonton does as well. So the key here now, as this game goes on with these young quarterbacks offensively, is patience. Not to turn the ball over like Edmonton did. All 9 points off turnovers for the Eskimos in the first half. And you'll get plays like this. Both teams will have the opportunity for plays like this, as both Aaron Grimes, the outside corner, jump the in route from Jaguar and leave Charette wide open in the busted coverage. But there may be few and far between against these defenses.
Cato's in trouble. Avoids it, and then he gets pummeled by Odell Willis. Slams Rakeem Cato to the turf, and that time Cato got out of one, then another, but not the 3rd.
2nd sack of the year for Odell Willis. He's just got to now be patient, move up the field, got a piece of him, and he ends up keeping with it, and Cato turns right back into him.
Do you know what that is? That's fishing. You hook him, he gets off the hook, then you reel him in.
Boy.
And you mount him.
Reel him in and knock him on the head with the mallet.
Cato now on 2nd and 20. Little screen. Terrell Sutton fights off J.C. Sherritt. The toughness. Terrell Sutton, but nowhere near a first down. This is what I mean. Line of scrimmage.
This is what I mean about the patience, though. You take a loss for Rakeem Cato. He takes a loss on first down and then just runs the offensive play in positive territory so that he can keep that field position advantage. When he was in positive territory against Ottawa, made a couple of bad decisions that in the end cost him the game.
Horace Beatty, 15 of 16 on the season from the 38. Big boot, the former Laval Rouge All-Star. He's got a little bit of a choreography going now with Tanner Marsh, and it makes it 12-0 Alouettes. Matt Nichols has to get something going here.
Well, first quarter was not all on him, but the first turnover was. This bad ball placement in behind Corey Watson into the hands of Chip Cox. That interception was just a great play by Jonathan Hefney, so he's got a couple in that first quarter. And then there was the fumble return for a touchdown by Ellsworth. So Matt Nichols got to take a page out of Rakeem Cato's book. Again, a young quarterback when it comes to starts. And be patient.
They don't put up a lot of yards, near the bottom of the league in that department. There's a quick hitter to Walker, who could not hang on.
Turn too soon.
Nichols now 5 of 9 for 30 yards and 2 picks. So it's second down time. Here's the blitz coming. They got to Nichols, and he got it away on the far side to Corey Watson. First down will move the sticks.
Corey Watson just 6 catches coming in. He's been targeted 16 times so far this year by Edmonton quarterbacks, but that was a well-run route by Watson because he's going to come up the field and then come back to the football. Watch how he takes that extra 2-3 steps back. Here he comes, like curls the inside, not out, but he comes back that extra step and a half and then turns and gets the first down once he makes the catch.
Nichols shouts something out to Walker on the far side, looks over the top, dumps it off to Shakir Bell, who spins and then is dropped by Aaron Laverius. Laverius again coming off the 6-game injured list. No Michael Sam tonight as well for the Alouettes.
Yeah, Matt Nichols got to be careful, Rod, with this ball placement again. This is Bell coming out of the backfield on that crossing route, and it's the second time now that it's been behind him a little bit. You see how it's in behind him? He has to come back here to catch it. Hard on those crossing routes to do that because you feel like you're going to get hit and ear hold from one of those linebackers.
Nichols wants to throw and then decides to go.
Well, he wanted to get Justin Sorensen out of his way.
or he wanted to use him as a blockade.
Yeah, just go and get somebody, big guy.
This is going to be very close to a first down. Might require a measurement. It's going to be third down, and they're going to bring out Jordan Lynch.
Bouncing around, and Sorensen looking for someone to block, and he says, go get the next color. He gets Kyrus Hebert. We'll get that opposite color jersey, anybody. Get going.
Nichols not afraid to run it if need be. So he goes to the sideline. In comes Lynch. Third down.
67% this year on these plays in the CFL. They're not a gimme.
Eskimos 5 of 6. Lynch has it. And you're right, they're not a gimme this year.
Well, it's been over 80% in the last couple of years on 3rd and 1s or less, and this year has dropped to 67% across the board. That's 38 of 57 successful, and so it is not a gimme, especially when you're on the road and the crowd can become a factor with the snap.
Lynch stays in, decides to take off, and again a guy who can run that football. So Jordan Lynch stays in for this series. Will he go to the sideline now on second down? Doesn't look like it. Giving Matt Nichols a look here as Lynch has a special teams tackle in this game. Couple of runs. Versatile guy out of Northern Illinois. Handed off again to Wallace Miles, former Ottawa Red Black. Hurdles forward, goes over the 40-yard line, and again resets the downs. New set of downs for the Eskimos.
Give Matt Nichols a chance to talk on the sideline to the coaching staff and get his next play package ready and together.
Well, this would make it a lot more comfortable for the Eskimos if they can find a way to the end zone here. They looked a little rattled in that first quarter. Nichols looking a little more poised on this drive. Decides to take a shot now for Devin Bailey. Mitchell White in the coverage. Jump ball for Bailey.
Now Bailey played it right. He won the jump. He just didn't come down with it. Devin Bailey at 6'3" against Mitchell White at 5'11" has the height advantage. And watch him get up there. He gets up, wins the jump. He just...
Team without a Darius Bowman, without Nate Kuhorn. Shamon Chambers still on the injured list, so plug-and-play receiving core right now. Bailey, a first-round pick last year, 6th overall by the Eskimos. Nichols on second. Oh, Hefney was jumping the route again.
Jonathan Hefney is in the head of Matt Nichols. I mean, the veteran, has had one interception already tonight, and he has been in position for 2 more. He got his hands on this one, but he jumped a similar route in the first quarter, and Nichols pulled it down.
Noel Thorpe, the defensive coordinator. Now Grant Shaw, who's made 15 in a row this season, 21 field goals in a row. This is from the 46. A tough one here, and no chance that streak is over. Steph Logan decides to bring it out. Finds a seam, and Steph Logan is dropped at the 18-yard line. Grant Shaw's first miss of the season. And still a big donut beside the Eskimos. Down 12-0.
From over 55 yards, and that's hard. I'll have to extend 10 yards and try and hit the crossbar.
Look at Air Canada 1.
Air Canada 1. This is my first crack at the madhouse that is Thursday night football.
Oh, it is a lot of fun Thursday nights. Terrell Sutton into the scrum in the middle. J.C. Sherritt in there. Yeah, the trick shots. There have been some good ones.
Yeah.
I think my favorite still might be Anthony Alexis, the spin and then kicking it through and then the backflip. That got to be a little creative. I don't think we've seen the best yet, though. The best may still be to come.
Taking a look at Brandon Rutley there. He's playing tonight and dressed tonight, and will sub in for Terrell Sutton. Good and bad when you dress 2 starting tailbacks. The good news is they'll have fresh legs. Bad is they don't get in that rhythm.
Sutton, helmet down. Collides with J.C. Sherritt.
The running backs like to have the 20 touches. It's about the magic number, but the most important of the 20, if you ask them, they'll tell you it's the last 5. So when you have 2 starters dressed and in the lineup, you might not get there because they're going to substitute for each other, but you do have fresher legs in the fourth quarter.
Brandon Rutley had a big game last week in Ottawa in the loss. They go to the 2-back this week. Kendall Lawrence is back near his 45-yard line to accept this kick from Boris Beatty. Kind of a low driving boot. One hopper to Lawrence. Ducks under a tackle. They'll start near the midfield stripe. So far, the Alouettes pitching a shutout. Defenses converging in Montreal on Thursday Night Football. Wendy's Friday Night Football tomorrow night. Toronto Argonauts in Winnipeg to take on Robert Marv and the Blue Bombers. His first start, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, with Drew Willie out of that Winnipeg lineup. Matt Nichols. First and 10, heads off to Bell. Good blocking here. Shakir Bell has a first down.
Boy, just bobbing and weaving through that defense on this play for Shakir Bell. Just giving you a little example of his tremendous vision. Anticipating where the angle of the tackler is coming from and bouncing the opposite direction. Just bobbed and weaved his way there, and then he grabbed his leg afterwards.
Team already riddled with injuries at tailback. John White tore his Achilles, gone for the season. Chad Simpson also injured. Shakir Bell comes in, and there you see that leg kind of buckling on that hit. 5 carries, 37 yards so far for Shakir Bell. We'll try to get an update. John Lewis on the sidelines with us tonight. Bell's not happy. Still a first down. There's a blitz. Nichols gets hit. Gives it off to Kendall Lawrence.
Boy, Matt Nichols had to pay the price there. He had the release from Kendall Lawrence, but he had to hold it, take the hit. Kendall Lawrence releases, but he had to take the hit to get it to him. Sometimes you're going to have to do this, and it's Aaron Laverius making really his first impact of this game tonight, although Edmonton Gets in second and short.
28-year-old Matt Nichols out of Eastern Washington. Shakir Bell on the sideline. Kendall Lawrence, that's a good thing about having a guy who's as versatile as he is. And we may see Jordan Lynch come in here again.
Yeah, Jordan Lynch was 4 yards on the field before they spotted the football. He could see right from their bench that was short. And it's about a yard.
Tough sledding for Nichols and the Eskimos offensively in this first half.
Let's see who steps up. Knapp along with Kyler Ellsworth.
Lynch hops forward and takes a heavy hit from Venable.
I don't know.
Also, Heffney, it's all going to depend on the spot. They had to get to about the 38.5-yard line. Tell you what, this is going to be really close.
Winston Venable hits Lynch in the top of his jump and turns him back. They gave him forward progress.
This is going to be so close. I don't know if they got it. They did it. And another turnover. This one on downs. A night for defenses, particularly Montreal's. They induced the fourth Eskimo turnover. Jordan Lynch is stopped. Alouettes take over.
The defenses are featured. You know, it's just a matter of time before Patrick Watkins makes a play out there on the corner. 3 interceptions so far for Watkins. Also leads the team in tackles from the short side corner. Don't hear that very often.
King Cato, quick hitter, but that was batted by J.C. Sherritt, it looked like. There's a penalty flag. Far side, that's in the area where there's usually defensive interference.
Well, J.C. Sherritt is trying to explain to the officials that the ball was tipped and therefore the contact.
There's no flag for pass interference as the ball was tipped.
There you go. Tom Velazzi reading your mail.
And the reason that Sherritt knew it was tipped is because he's the guy who tipped it. The bottom of your screen, again, tracking and spying on Rakeem Cato. No pass interference when the ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. We used to call that the monster back, when you just had a linebacker spy the quarterback. Don't necessarily rush in getting a lane. Sit at the line of scrimmage, and if he scrambles, he's your responsibility.
3-man rush this time. Cato, here comes a rush, and down goes Rakeem Cato. And another sack here as free safety Ryan Hines comes barreling in.
Well, I thought that Ryan Hines was going to get caught from the safety spot on this blitz coming way too late. I mean, he's way back off the line of scrimmage, and then he kind of gets there. But because the coverage is so good downfield, again, Patrick Watkins and John Ojo probably responsible for that. Rakeem Cato has no options.
Montreal now 0-7, 0 for 7 on second down conversions. That has a lot to do with the Edmonton D. Lawrence bursts outside, but he's dropped there near the 38-yard line. Ryan Hines,
coming back.
former Tiger Cat.
JC said, there you go. No. New Hampshire, UNH, no Toronto, Toronto, no sir.
Toronto born, well actually born in Guyana and then raised in Toronto and out of New Hampshire. He gave it all right there. His first sack of the season.
Oh, you like defense, you like this game.
He's just going to come in, wrap it, and on the show.
And it's good defense. Makes you wonder if they may start using those backs out of the backfield on some screens. There's not much else open. This time, Kendall Lawrence goes left side and has his biggest run of the ball game. Escorted out of bounds by Chip Cox. 20-yard gain for Kendall Lawrence. At back right now with Shakir Bell on the sideline.
Yeah, really no contain here, so Kendall Lawrence just takes the edge and heads outside. No upfield containment. Still taking a long look at Shakir Bell and getting a new tape job on that ankle.
And off again to Lawrence into a mob at the line of scrimmage. Picked up a couple.
Second down conversion's been tough for Edmonton, and Matt Nichols of late just under 50%. Got second and long.
3 minutes on the clock. That's the 3-minute warning given to both benches. 12-0 Eskimos driving. Need some points before halftime.
All made their living on offense. What do you think they think of this defensive showdown? Some great D in this one. They'll talk about the pressure and the quarterbacks, the turnovers, everything else coming up as we head back to Rod and Glenn in Montreal.
Thank you so much, Rod Smith. Well, it came in. The tail of the tape was two very solid defensive teams. We've seen that so far. Nichols now has to hurry. Oh, he is rocked. Matt Nichols, as Aaron Lavarius came over the top. Winston Venable was in there, practically the entire front seven.
Yeah, and Kyrie Seber is the guy who gets home, because we knew we would be the straw that stirs the drink, and he starts in this, nearing the end of this first half. It's Kyrie Seber that comes off the hip of Aaron Lavarius and gets there right down Main Street.
Kyrie Seber's first sack, 2015, his first game back. This is a good boot. And bouncing out. What a kick by Grant Shaw. 54-yarder. Fifth kick this season inside that 10-yard line, and a beauty from Grant Shaw.
By the way, that miss for Grant Shaw on the field goal, he was looking at 22 in a row, which was the Edmonton record held by Sean Fleming. And the streak for Shaw falls one short at 21 straight going back to last year. But that was an outstanding punt to pin Rakeem Cato deep.
So now Rakeem Cato. Both quarterbacks have struggled here offensively, and most of it is to do with the fact that they've got an opposing player in their pocket almost every play. 2.5 to go before halftime. Keep it on the ground for Sutton.
Well, both these teams are really sticking with the run game on first down, which is a great idea with inexperienced quarterbacks, and playing against good defenses. Keeps them honest, or at least that's the theory. And puts your young quarterback in a manageable position.
Timer, please reset the clock to 2:28.
Alouettes last season struggled in this department, second down conversions, till Jonathan Crompton came in. And of course, Crompton started the season, went down with injury. They've been all right this season, but in this game, they're 0 for 7 in second down conversions. Only had 3 first downs. They'll need one here, or Edmonton's going to get good field position. Another crack, putting some points on the board. And Terrell Sutton goes the other way, and he is ripped to the turf by Patrick Watkins. And Montreal will have to kick, and it's 0 for 8 now on second down.
If an offense brings their wide receiver in, Patrick Watkins will come in and just do this. It almost seems like he's doing it on his own, that he'll come off the edge and from that short side corner spot either go after the quarterback, or in this case Terrell Sutton who had the football. Another tackle on the list for Patrick Watkins. He get banged up a little.
Yeah, he did. Not. It looks like he's all right though. So Montreal hustles to get their punt unit out. Beatty stands 5 yards deep in his end zone. And he will kick it out. High kick. Kendall Lawrence has been a busy guy in this first half.
Where you going?
It's a good strategy. You've got two good defenses. Kick it out. Don't give up the points.
It's not my imagination that we've seen a lot of guys, a lot of teams kick it out. The last couple of seasons, we've seen a lot of teams give up too.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, this strategy when you're two strong defenses, both coaches' staffs obviously say, hey, we'll put our defense out there and not only do they expect, and Noldthorpe expect to get the stop? He expects a turnover the way it's been going tonight.
Or maybe a tackle for a loss. We'll have to see. And a lot of sacks in this game. Nichols threads it into Kenny Stafford.
What a catch.
The former Alouette loses his helmet but hangs on to the football. Great catch. Perfect throw as Chip Cox has some words for his former mate.
Yeah, the ball placement, excellent. You're going to have to, when you get shots, make the best of them. Kenny Stafford has to go down, but the ball placement is right where it has to be because lurking nearby is Jonathan Hefney, who's been very close to that football all night.
27-yard. Far side for Walker. Cuts back in the former Aggie from Texas A&M has his third catch, 9-yard pickup, and the Eskimos finally having some success moving the football here. A minute 25 to go before the half, and they'll be 2nd down and 1 from the 11.
Like what I see so far in Walker. Nice route runner. He's got the Alouettes kind of turning quickly out of their back pedals on some of those curls and out routes. He's got 3 catches tonight. 30 yards so far.
Turnover filled first half for the Eskimo offense trying to find the end zone. Shakir Bell, heavily taped up, has the first down. Bell went down with what looked like an ankle injury. Look at how that ankle is taped up. He limps back to the huddle. I don't think anything's going to keep this guy out of the ball game.
Yeah, he's as tough as they come. He's got almost a cast on the right leg, still making those moves, but he was limping a little bit going back to the huddle.
First and goal, Eskimos number 2 in the CFL from the red zone. Nichols with time and overthrows Wallace Miles, but a penalty flag at the goal line, and it's going to be interference against the Alouettes.
That was an outrun by Wallace Miles on Chip Cox.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 17. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Billy Parker.
Well, I looked and it looked like the coverage by Cox was pretty good, and it turns out it was. There's the out route, and here comes Cox. Billy Parker is this guy right here. Now he's going to make contact on Corey Watson after the 5-yard zone. And that contact initiated by Billy Parker, not allowed under the new rules.
Great call.
And it's the right call.
First and goal now with Lynch, who already has 2 touchdowns, running the football as an Eskimo. Bad snap. Lynch throws. Stafford scores. Touchdown. Kenny Stafford comes back to Montreal and has an Eskimo touchdown.
Both Jordan Lynch and Stafford had a little bit of trouble controlling the football, bobbled it around a little bit. There's a play fake that didn't quite work as smoothly as I'm sure they'd like it to, but doesn't matter when you get in the end zone and score.
He's become a go-to guy, Suits. Kenny Stafford, that's his 5th touchdown now as an Eskimo.
Oh yeah, Edmonton Eskimos happy with the trade, as are the Montreal Alouettes with Fred Stamps. Stafford been targeted almost 50 times so far this season, so they're going to him.
Even though he caught that ball from Lynch, Kenny Stafford this week has sat down with the guy he calls Ice, Matt Nichols, almost every morning going over film. Mostly probably the fact that Stafford played here last year and can alert Nichols and a Jordan Lynch to what kind of defenses the Alouettes run.
Well, he made the big play down the seam to get this drive started.
Columbus, Ohio, once again. My boy Lynch, Matt represent through the touchdown. Let's go. We got to keep it rolling, Eskimos. Let's go. AD, what's up, baby? That was for you.
Darius Bowman.
AD, you're good.
Is that for Darius Bowman? Is he AB or AD?
Well, Darius AD, I guess they call him that too. But Kenny Stafford comes by his talent quite naturally. Played with his cousin here in Montreal, Duron Carter, who's down in the NFL now, who's got a very good chance to make the Indianapolis Colts. And of course, his uncle is Chris Carter. They work out all together in the winter. And Kenny Stafford said the day he was traded, he was shocked, but at the same time realized what an opportunity he has now.
Well, I talked about how many times he's been targeted, Rod, and when you're a young receiver and the ball's been thrown to you almost 50 times at this point in the season, you know that the coaching staff and Chris Jones has tremendous trust in Kenny Stafford. They get that size receiver that has the ability to get a defensive back out of his back pedal quickly because of his sheer speed. So that's why they're happy with the trade. And I think Jim Pop will tell you he's happy with Fred Stamps too, because they get a veteran with young quarterbacks to help them develop.
Saw Stafford and S.J. Green exchange pleasantries before the game. Stafford said he learned a lot from the veteran receiver S.J. Green about being a pro in this league. So the first touchdown offensively of the game. And look at Steph Logan. Logan now bursting outside and is brought down by Patrick Watkins. If he wasn't, he was gone. Steph Logan with 30 seconds to go before halftime has given the Alouettes great field position.
Nice blocking for Logan. It doesn't look like he's going to get touched. I mean, he comes up in behind that wedge, breaks to his right. Nice move inside there. A little bit an overrun there by the Edmonton Eskimo cover guys, but gives Rakeem Cato a chance to answer with a couple of throws here. Does he take a shot deep?
Former Eskimos head coach Canvas Reid, now the special teams coordinator with the Alouettes. Well, they have a couple plays to get it in field goal range here. Lots of pressure again. High shot. Picked off almost by Aaron Grimes.
Aaron Grimes has been matched up on S.J. Green for most of this first half. And that is quite the responsibility for Aaron Grimes. I mean, to take and try and cover in the one-on-one on S.J. Green, one of the most dynamic receivers in the league in a couple of years.
S.J. Green may have saved a touchdown right there, because that might have been in Grimes' mitts. So now 2nd and 10 key here for the Alouettes if they want to get points before halftime. They've got to get a first down here. Cato stands in. Good protection. Now here's the rush. Sutton now on the backfield to Russ Sutton. It's going to be 3rd and almost 2 yards. 15 seconds to go.
Tom Higgins is thinking about this one with 15 seconds.
Well, a few options here. You could just take the knee and go into the locker room with the lead. You can also think about Boris Beatty's leg.
That's exactly what they're going to do. I think they're just going to run it down and snap the ball.
Because as crazy as it sounds, Boris Beatty could make that from 55, 56 easy. The problem is if he misses, that could come back. There's a penalty flag now that just...
Time count violation. Montreal number 12. 10-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So time count. And this with zeros on the clock. They'll take the knee. And Montreal will take the lead into the locker room. Defense abounds here in Montreal tonight. Bunch of turnovers by the Eskimos, but they're right in it. Close one here. East meeting West, and right now East leading 12-7 on Thursday Night Football. Here's Rod Smith.
Thank you, Rod. If you evaluate this game as Alouettes versus Eskimos, it's certainly a close one. Now, if you evaluate it as offense versus defense, it was looking like a blowout until the last couple of minutes with defense absolutely ruling. Here's the panel: Milt Stegall, Matt Dunnigan, and Chris Schultz. And for all the talk about Edmonton's defense, and rightfully so, being the best in the CFL statistically coming in, Montreal looked great. Right from the start, Matty, they really did set the tone and put some points on the board.
Absolutely. Before the ball game, we showed a shot of Montreal team having a huddle before the game, and Josh Burke, their left tackle, veteran, was breaking them down, and he said, do it for number 7, John Bowman. We talked about the veteran defense men be sat down, and I think this football team is really playing inspired football. Not only are they playing a solid opponent and want to prove themselves, defensively. I think they're doing it for Jonathan Bowman as well. I think there's a little bit more to that story than we know, but absolutely flying around the football in this first half, opportunistic, making plays, 4 turnovers in all. Here's one here in 3rd and down, stopping Lynch. That's Winston Venable. And then it's Venable and Kyrus Hebert getting to the quarterback, making it tough on Matt Nichols in the first 30 minutes. So I really believe that, Rod, this football team's got something to prove. I think this is their MO. This is how they play. And I think Cato, as their quarterback, has got to manage the last 30 minutes of this football game accordingly, because you don't have to win it. Your defense is playing good enough. Just be smart and manage the game.
Well, speaking of which, and the other side of things with that Al's offense, the Eskimos defense, Milt, I mean, you can't blame that Edmonton defense. They were in that 9-0 hole because of their offense, not their defense. What about the job they've done on Rakeem Cato?
They've done a great job on him. And I really like Rakeem Cato. I think he has a bright future in this league. I think he's going to be an elite quarterback one day in this league. He has some intangibles that you can't teach. He has poise, he has confidence, he has speed, and he has a great arm. You look at this throw right here. This is a great throw in the double coverage. Fred Stanford, being the veteran he is, he has to make that catch. But this is where Rakeem Cato has to learn. You're in almost field goal range with your strong field goal kicker. You can't take a sack right there. Worst case scenario, throw the ball out of bounds. That's a young quarterback being a young quarterback, but like I always say, this kid is going to be great in this league for years to come.
You know, Milton, you're right. And Rakeem Cato, for the first time in a long time, he's got to pick up his game. But let's give credit where credit is due. And the defensive front seven for the Edmonton Eskimos is taking advantage of different scenarios in different situations. First, notice this is a mental error. You got 2 players taking one guy, the center taking the other guy. That's Dion Lacey. Scot-free right up the middle, sack right there on Rakeem Cato. Not necessarily on the quarterback. This is an excellent disciplined rush where the linebacker eyes the quarterback. The quarterback knows that. He knows if he steps up, that linebacker is right there. Willie Jefferson gets a tackle. Good job. And that's just Odell Willis being aggressive on the play, ignoring his keys and going after the quarterback. That is the Odell we know, with that acceleration, that containability. Defensive front seven. This is a 5-point game. Edmonton is in this game. If I'm there in the, in halftime in the Eskimo locker room, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm in my happy place.
You consider they've turned the ball over 3 times first quarter and another time in the second quarter. So 4 times in the half, and they're still only 5 points behind in this one. By the way, that touchdown by the Eskimos, their first one on offense in their last 18 possessions, and that was to Kenny Stafford and Jordan Lynch. Wallace Miles with the fumble. Kyler Ellsworth with the touchdown, the first one to get the Owls on the board. And in the lead, 12-7. We'll be back. It's our Thursday night tradition. Keep those pictures and videos coming. Before the game, some of them coming in from Montreal, hashtag CFL game day, and we may show them at other points in Thursday night football here at the CFL on TSN. 12-7 at the half for the Alouettes, leading the Edmonton Eskimos. Back now with Paul Lapalisse and the GMC coach's playbook. Because in my imagination, are we starting a little even further back as we talk about what you like about the Edmonton Eskimos defense?
Yeah, we're farther back. We're extra far away. And extra, it's harder to see us. But I'll tell you what the term extra means in football, as the camera can come in closer to us now. Extra talks about long yardage situations. You get a penalty on first down, you redo the down, you're first and extra, okay, first and 12, 15 yards, or on second down when you lose yardage on first down, if you're second and 15. As coaches, we break this down and analyze this and what we're going to call in this situation. The Edmonton Eskimos are one of the best teams in the CFL, putting you in second extra. First down, you get a sack, you're second and 17, perfect, exactly what they want. Now they just throw a check down and then they rush with 3 people and get you here. Odell Willis gets a sack on first and 10 off the zone read play, puts you in second and 20. Now you're sitting in second and 20. Hey, we can complete a pass for 8 or 9 yards, 10 yards, doesn't matter because we're off the field. That's what this defense has done. Chris Jones used to be going against my time of going against Chris. He used to always love to blitz you on second and long, trying to get you off the field. Now it's changed. He likes to blitz you on first and 10 to get you in second and long, rush with 3 people, keep everybody deep, come up and make a play on the football. And that's what they're best in the Canadian Football League. 38% stopping teams on second down conversion, by far the best in the CFL, Rob.
Yeah, I see how you were making your point there, but that wasn't just a sack. Like that camera was way back. That had to be like a double roughing penalty.
Second and 25.
It was like second and 25 or 30. I was wondering what I did. Paul Lapalisse, the GMC coach's playbook. Back with more, including a Sports Center update as well.
Love it, Ron. I love it.
But Edmonton Eskimos, I know they love the fact that they got those 7 points before the half, gave them some momentum. Montreal was not able to take advantage of those 4 turnovers. What happened, Rod? Let's have a good second half.
One of those turnovers leading to a Montreal touchdown, 41-yard return by number 41, Kyler Ellsworth, standing by with John Liu.
Kyler, we saw Josh Burke urging the Alouettes to play for John Bowman. How much of the defense's performance can be attributed to your support for your veteran defensive end?
Hey, a lot of it. A guy that's played a lot of games for us, a guy that's a leader of our defense, isn't up this week. And we go out there and, we try to do our best for him and try not to miss a beat, just like we did when Bear Woods went down.
You're responsible for 10 points off of turnovers in that first half with a tip pass for an INT and then the fumble recovery. How will that half play out in your football scrapbook?
All we can do is try to keep that rolling. That's something we went into the game saying we need to get turnovers. We need to give our offense good field position and good things will happen. Last week, we lost the turnover battle and weeks before we've lost as well. So we came to this week saying, listen, we need to get turnovers. We need to get good field position for offense, and I feel like we've done that, and we need to keep that rolling into the second half.
Thanks for this, Kyler.
Appreciate it.
Also in sports, perhaps you've heard there's a red-hot baseball team playing in Toronto right now. Let's go over to Derek Taylor now in a Sports Center update. Derek?
Yeah, the Jays unbelievable, going for their second 11-game winning streak of the season when they took on the A's in an afternoon matinee and their third straight series sweep. And, things continue to go well at the Dome. Top one, though, A's with the bases loaded for former Jay Danny Valencia. Gets the old 1-2-3. Double play does Mark Burley. Now trying to escape the jam with 2 out. Josh Fegley up the middle. Burley got a piece, but the hustle play from Cliff Pennington barehanded to end the threat. 1-0 Jays. Second, 2 on Ryan Goins. Goins gone. Number 4 for Goins. 12th straight game the Jays have gone yard. Third straight series sweep and win number 11. 4-2 the final. Sports Centers coming up following the NFL. We'll, of course, have highlights and reaction from Eskimos and Alouettes. More from the Jays' 11th straight win, opening round of the PGA Championship as well. Second half, Eskimos, Alouettes coming up.
Intercepted. Pick 6. Watkins. S.J. Green. An absolute beauty.
Under the Thursday night lights here in Montreal, Alouettes have a 12-7 lead over the Edmonton Eskimos. Let's check in with John Liu, who's with Eskimo quarterback Matt Nichols.
Matt, how much momentum and or solutions did you find in that final drive of the first half?
Yeah, that's huge for us. Obviously, we gave away a couple things early in the game. Our defense is playing great for us. As an offense, we just need to continue our drives and not kill ourselves. We've can't come out and throw an interception and fumble right away. I mean, those are things that you just can't do on the road, so we got to clean that up.
Yes, with respect to those giveaways, how did Coach Jones address ball security at the halftime?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something that we always talk about, and I think that we got kind of bad bounce on one, we got a hole on the ball on the other one, and another one was corner, pushed our receiver when the ball was in the air, and just kind of made a good play. So. Something we just need to clean those things up and keep doing what we're doing.
Thanks for this, Matt.
Thank you.
Clean up the turnovers, interception, fumble, interception. Matt Nichols was talking about. Chris Jones obviously addressed that at halftime, according to his quarterback. The good news for Edmonton is those are behind him, and they have the defense that can also create turnovers.
Edmonton will get a chance to maintain some momentum here. They'll take the ball first to open up the second half. Big kick from Beatty to Kendall Lawrence. Nice shake there by Lawrence down the sideline, and another good return from a guy who's going to need a good ice bath after this one. He's playing a specials. He's playing in the offense. He's done some big things here. So too did Matt Nichols, despite the fact it wasn't a very offensive first half. Nichols, of course, the 2 picks.
Yeah, you're going to have to take your shots and take full advantage when you do have an opportunity to make plays. That's what they did on that drive that ended in the touchdown to Kenny Stafford. It started with a catch from Stafford down the field. He has a touchdown. Shakir Bell, 46 yards and 7 touches, but he also got banged up in that first half.
Quick hitter, far side. There's Walker again in his first CFL game as his 4th catch.
what they might have to do here, because Jonathan Hefney is playing so aggressively, is the Edmonton Eskimos are going to have to do a double move at some point. Now, this time he doesn't, and he gets the ball right here. But look how quickly Hefney is breaking up. He wants to make that big play. Had an interception in the first half.
Walker, again, guy who's been on the practice roster, draws into this lineup with the injuries to Darius Bowman, of course. Nate Kuhorn also out. Shamon Chambers still on the shelf. And Walker had an impressive preseason.
Now they're going with tempo offense so that the Alouettes can't make substitutions. This is something that hurt them last week against Ottawa. And I'm talking about Ottawa's tempo with Henry Burris. And Alouettes didn't have an answer late in that game.
Had them out of rhythm. They load up the box this time. And here's the rush. A Matt Nichols sandwich, courtesy of Marc-Olivier Briette and Aaron Laverius. Free safety came humming in.
Yeah, Briette from one side, he's down at the bottom, Laverius up at the top, and they do sort of end up. Now, the problem with trying to make double moves, I don't think there was one called on that particular play, but the problem with it is you need time to throw that. You need to pump fake it, time to throw it, and he just doesn't have time. Aaron Laverius gets there, I'm sure. I don't know if they'll share that sack.
7 sacks in the ball game. We're not done yet, I can guarantee you that. High kick. Logan with a penalty flag down as the ball was launched. So it's a 5-point game. Montreal brings its offense on the field. Aaron Laverius, with John Bowman sitting tonight, has made a couple of impacts on Thursday night football. Crawford star in the hot new series Blood and Oil. Sundays this fall on CTV. Great night to watch football here this Thursday. Mid-August night. One of the most scenic stadiums in all of North America. Certainly in Canada. Nice pump fake, but oh boy. Sammy Giguère. Ryan Hines spies him perfectly. They'll mark this ball at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, it didn't look like Ryan Hines was coming on a blitz there. It just looked like this is film work. You don't see him to the left of your screen, but they've run this play, Montreal, a few times offensively, and Samuel Giguère coming out of the formation from right to left. Ryan Hines reads it nicely. He always come down from his safety position already and makes a nice tackle in the open field.
Couple of big plays already from the Canadian safety. Cato stands in, lost the football for a moment, pump faked. Down he goes. It's a safety touch. Koshi Mwamba, another Canadian DB with the sack. 6th sack now. Make that 5 sacks for the Edmonton Eskimos. 8 total in the game.
You heard our coach at halftime talk about second and extra. Keem Cato in second and extra by a couple, and he's going to take the sack and give up the safety because, as coach mentioned, defense as good as it gets, putting you in second and long, and then making you pay for second and long. Koshi Mwamba, second sack.
So add 2 more points to defensive scores here tonight. You're just joining us. This game started auspiciously for the Eskimos. 3 straight turnovers. Tyler Ellsworth scored on a touchdown. Also tipped the ball into the hands of Chip Cox.
Chris Jones' defense last year was first or second in almost every defensive category. This year, they're better. This year, they're better than they were a year ago.
Hard not to agree on that one. Putting up the numbers. A 4-2 record right now. Looking for first place in the CFL West. Collision. Calvin McCarty. Kendall Lawrence, and McCarty has to barge up near the 31-yard line. So after the safety and the 2 points, we've got a 3-point ball game here and a close one in Montreal.
and Kendall Lawrence. Now, when you take a look at this, Lawrence is tracking the ball this way. McCarty is retreating to go get it. And generally, the rule is that if you have to go backwards and retreat, then you shouldn't be going for the football. The guy behind you is going to call it, and he takes the return in Kendall Lawrence. So, unless there's some different type of rules in Edmonton, that was a mistake by Calvin McCarty, but they got away with it.
Could have been disastrous as they fling it out to Lawrence. Kyler Ellsworth's having himself a ball game here. A number of tackles, couple of big defensive plays, a tip for an interception. The touchdown, of course, on the turnover earlier. Former Michigan State Spartan.
Bearwood's gone for the year, so he will get the playing time and will just get better as he gets more reps, but been an impact player tonight.
Was an impact player in college, was a defensive most valuable player. Rose Bowl win over Stanford, loading it up, and Walker tried the alley-oop catch with Hefney one-on-one, tight coverage. So it'll be third down.
Well, they had to take a shot to get Jonathan Hefney to back off. You know, when he's playing that tight, either a double move, as we talked about in the last series, or just straight out try and run by him. But the veteran stays in the hip of Walker, turns at the right time, reading his eyes and his arms as he goes up to reach for that ball and makes another nice defensive play.
Steph Logan, who is back, and a punt return touchdown against Calgary this season. Only one of his career. Not too many yards this time as he's rolled out of bounds. 4 minutes gone into this second half.
Both these young quarterbacks under 100 yards in the first half. Rakeem Cato, 93 yards, 6 of 9. Good defensive play by both these teams. Terrell Sutton has 8 touches. Remember, Brandon Rutley on the roster as well. The one big play made by Alex Charette, but it was on a busted coverage by the Edmonton Eskimos.
They have to get their receivers going. Fred Stamps, no catches. Batted down, Willie Jefferson.
6'6", long arms,
big dude,
and in the regular rotation. Surprised that doesn't happen more often for him, because if you don't get to the quarterback, get your arms up, and that takes a little bit of courage, because you can get a shot right in the rib cage from that tackle in Jeff Parrott.
Played with the Houston Texans 2013. Willie Jefferson, 3-man rush right now on second down. Alouettes 0 for 9. Here's the blitz, and Catos is down. Another sack.
That's 2 for Odell Willis. He got in there on a delayed rush. It looked like, you're right, Rod, it started with 3-man pressure, so Rakeem Cato thought that he had lots of time to sit back there and find his open receiver. Let's take a quick look. 1, 2, 3 here. And delayed on the rush from Odell Willis.
Kendall Lawrence. They missed that tackle. Slippery is Lawrence. Had to do a lot of running around for a few yards. But great effort from Kendall Lawrence. So the Alouettes can't get any spark offensively, and the Eskimos, the only offensive touchdown in the ballgame. Odell Willis. Okay. Pair of sacks in this one. 6-pack of sacks for the Edmonton Eskimos. Hunger, a promise we can all help deliver.
6 sacks for the Edmonton Eskimos, who lead the race. 2 by Odell Willis. And you'd think that these two defenses and coordinators are sending a ton of blitz, but Noel Thorpe in the first half sent 5 or more rushers 8 times, and 10 times sent 4 or less. So actually, more times than not sent only 4. And Edmonton, 9 times sent 4 or less, and only 4 times sent more than 5. So they like the reputation.
First and 10, Nichols, deep drop. Calvin McCarty. Aaron Laverius is having himself a big game here, his first of 2015, coming off that 6-game injured list.
Well, he got a sack in the first half, but just to get back to that point, these two coordinators love the reputation of the pressure defense. And when you say pressure defense, you think blitz, when actually in the first half they dropped more and played more coverage type defenses than they did blitz. Had the personnel to get there with just 4.
Edmonton also struggling, second down, but they run the little screen here. Penalty flag as Nichols gets rocked as he threw the football. This is going to be roughing the passer.
I think it is Aaron Laverius. Again, if you're just joining us, he's on the roster off the 6th game. And John Bowman.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Montreal number 97. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's a costly penalty. They would have stopped the Eskimos there and forced them to kick. Instead, the drive continues.
Now, in fairness to Laverius, he's been having a good game up until this point. Let's take a look at the late hit. But again, playing for John Bowman, who is healthy. But Tom Higgins said, give him a rest for this game, and then take a look at Aaron Laverius, who has a sack in the first half. So Bowman watches from the sideline.
Unfamiliar position for John Bowman. Been an all-star so many times. Now Bell with some blocking help from Calvin McCarty. Chip Cox wraps him up and rips him down. Big play by Chip Cox. Not surprising.
Well, they can do a lot with Chip Cox. Last week they moved him back, and he played a lot of that deep coverage and played at the safety spot by rolling from it from the linebacking core. That can confuse an offense at times, but when you get him down in the box, he makes plays like that all the time.
Second down, here's the heat, and Wallace Miles can't hang on. And chatting with Chris Jones yesterday, he lamented last week, and they had a controversial decision whether to go for that field goal or not, and then they lost to BC in the late going, gave up a 13-point lead. But the biggest thing that he was perturbed about over the last few games, dropped passes.
Yeah, tough one. I wonder if Wallace Miles there just kept running through there.
I don't think he had to dive.
He didn't have to really dive for it.
So Logan is back. Bradshaw's had a couple of great angle kicks, directional kicks in this ball game. Again, pinning Logan. Dexter McCoyle downfield quickly to make the tackle.
Stephen Logan did a good job there of catching the ball in the air and not letting it hit the ground. When it hits the ground, you never know. It could have bounced and been inside the 10. It gives his offense a little breathing room. Not a big return, but a very big play to just get under that punt.
Saw big Dexter McCoyle on the special teams. There he is, last year's most outstanding rookie out of Louisiana. Played at Tulsa. Played against Rakeem Cato at one point in college. So he knows Cato. Sutton goes down, and there is McCoyle on cue. And Dexter McCoyle knows Rakeem Cato well.
First of all, I want to say Rakeem is a good quarterback. I played against him in college, so people really don't know that. I played safety. I was playing safety in college, and he was quarterback at Marshall. And this is not a surprise that he's that good to me, because I know he's a good quarterback. The only reason why he's probably underestimated because of his size, but his arm strength, his ability to make plays outside the pocket has always been there.
Three-man rush, Cato now swallowed again. Marcus Howard has his first sack of the ball game.
And he's a young quarterback, and I agree. And the panel talked about this in the pregame show about, did we jump on the Rakeem Cato bandwagon too soon? He made a couple of mistakes against Ottawa in the loss. I see a quarterback tonight that has thought long and hard over the week about his mistakes last week, and I think he's having a little bit of hesitation there pulling the trigger tonight.
Hard to believe S.J. Green only has one catch. Fred Stamps no catches. Numbers way down for Rakeem Cato in this one. Lawrence finished off on the sidelines. It's a game right now where the defense is rising up. Punters and kickers paramount right now, and another sack for the Edmonton Eskimos tonight for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, that's a 6 for Marcus Howard, who gets Rakeem Cato in the last one. That ties him with Charleston Hughes for first in the sack department.
7 Eskimo sacks. So now a different look here. This series, James Franklin comes into the ball game. When last we saw Franklin, it was against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers a few weeks ago. He came in relief of Matt Nichols, who was actually leading in the ball game in the second half and led the Eskimos to a big win through 3 touchdown passes in the game. This guy's got loads of talent too. Another former Missouri Tiger, played with Kendall Lawrence at Mizzou. Won the Cotton Bowl in 2014. Talented guy, quick feet, good arm. There's that arm. And there's the catch by Walker. And Jonathan Hefney probably saying, how did you do that? I was all over you, man.
Well, this time Jonathan Hefney takes off after that last series where Walker ran deep on him. They didn't complete it, but he went deep on him. This time, Hefney thinks it's the same deal, so a bit of a double move there. That gets him high, and he cuts underneath it.
Flag flies, whistles blow before this play gets off.
And I talked to a couple of the staff members for Edmonton before the game.
Offside. Edmonton number 18. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Very, very high on James Franklin, and I'm not surprised that you get a chance to talk to Franklin. He's a great kid, very respectful. His father, evangelist minister, is a motivational speaker, and he's a guy who has this positive outlook on life that's just infectious. He went into that game you mentioned, Rod, and threw a couple touchdown passes.
Looking for Walker again.
Like it was just another day at the office. That one a little low, but I think everyone in the Edmonton organization feel like James Franklin has a real bright future ahead of him.
Pretty smart guy, too. You know what? Worked out with a couple of NFL teams. Wasn't getting any feelers. So he emailed all the personnel directors in the CFL, said, hey, here's my resume. This is what I can do. And Herbie said, well, why not? They worked him out. The guy could be a star someday. Scrambles out of the pocket. Rolls now. Franklin fires, and on the sideline, they're saying incomplete for Devin Bailey. There's a flag on the far side of the field.
Devin Bailey definitely dropped that. He double clutched it, dropped it out of bounds. See what this flag is.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 38. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Again, you cannot touch the receiver after 5 yards. Jam them, you can bump them in that 5-yard area, and then after that, it's a penalty.
I'll show you the foot of the official, because that's where the 5 yards begins, and that jam is about 6.5-yard line from the 5 yards to the line of scrimmage.
So it'll be 2nd and 5. And Lynch comes in. Penalty flag on the far side. Alan Michael Cash was playing official there.
Edmonton number 64. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Cash Money said Andrew Jones had moved.
See Alan Michael Cash with a point after he saw Andrew Jones rock back in his stance.
So moving it back, it's back to 2nd and 10. Just over 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Franklin's back in, and he scrambles, and he is hit hard by Kyrie Sebert. James Franklin, if you haven't heard about Kyrie Sebert, you've wondered about this guy who's probably one of the hardest hitters in the CFL.
Yeah, watch what he does, Rod. He's going to step out and get contact in the 5-yard area. And that's the target. That's right where Franklin was looking. He was looking for Kenny Stafford. Kyrie Sebert dropped underneath him, gave him a little jam right in the 5-yard zone, which is legal, and took away the target for the quarterback.
So Grant Shaw, who has missed on his only attempt tonight, puts this up, and it's wide left, and he's missed twice. He'll get the single point, but Grant Shaw, who came in 15 for 15, in fact, 21 for his last 21, has missed 2 tonight, and those could prove costly in the grand scheme of things here.
And no question, in a defensive struggle and battle, 6 points put Edmonton in the lead. Grant Shaw was just on a roll to start this season, going back to last year. It's 6 of his last 6, 15 of 15 coming in, and in this tight defensive battle has missed 2.
So it is a 2-point ball game. Just 1 touchdown apiece, a defensive touchdown for Montreal in the first quarter. The Eskimos scoring an offensive touchdown in the second. That's where we're at here. Ball snap, Logan playing in the backfield. Logan jitterbugs up near the 46-yard line and has a first down. And Logan had just hurt his ankle, it looks like. He's hopping up. They cannot afford to have Steph Logan as he, look at this, runs back to the huddle. He says, I'm okay. Doesn't want to leave this ball game.
He's getting a chance to play offense, and he doesn't want to get out of the huddle there because he's a special teams guy with Brandon Rutley and Terrell Sutton, but getting a chance to play on offense, and he got rolled on his ankle, but he bounced up because he doesn't want to leave the field.
Logan, Cato now has to take it and throws it to Nick Lewis out of bounds. And again, Nick Lewis just has 1 catch tonight. S.J. Green, just 1 catch. It's almost unheard of in a game like this. Fred Stamps, nothing. And right now, another second down conversion for the Alouettes, and it has been their Achilles heel tonight.
0 for 11 on second down, and you take a look at S.J. Green there, that shot at Green. They're going to check out Stefan Logan's ankle, but S.J. Green's been matched up against Aaron Grimes tonight, and he's playing great in that secondary.
They decide to hand it off. Brandon Rutley plows up near the midfield stripe. He'll get right on that 55-yard line, but they're going to be short by a yard. Good yard. Cato looks to the sideline. Tom Higgins looks over at those sticks.
Brandon Rutley used a little bit more as a receiver than Terrell Sutton. That time on the run, it's a long yard.
But they're huddling up here. And Rakeem Cato is going to go behind center here. He's going to go in shotgun, actually, on 3rd and 1. Cato now, he's going to throw, and he throws it to Sammy Giguère. And a turnover on downs by the Alouettes. You surprised?
Well, you could tell by the play call that Cato was in there setting up the pass play. I mean, Giguère's run this a ton. He gets out and he's open. I'll just see if he flat out drops this. Just looked a little casual for Sam Giguère out there in the flat, just to kind of casually reach to it. That was a big play on 3rd down. Offense is off the field and gave Edmonton instant field position.
Montreal's first turnover of the ball game to Edmonton's 4. Normally when you lose the turnover battle, you lose the ball game, but Edmonton might have a chance to win this one. Big hit there on Shakir Bell up the middle. Penalty flag in the backfield. Just over a minute remains, 3rd quarter.
Holding, Edmonton number 60. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
You'll see the hold. Justin Sorensen is working on Alan Michael Cash, and he's got him in the jersey and the shoulder pads, first and extra.
Franklin twirls it.
Oh, he threaded the needle there.
Right up near the initial line of scrimmage.
Shows a little of that arm strength for James Franklin.
He's got a rocket arm as Franklin takes over from Matt Nichols.
He did not have a very big window there, Rod. He just gunned that in there to Wallace Miles and really didn't give Miles an option but to catch it. Put it right on his chest. Kyrus Hebert ankle is acting up again. You see the Alouettes in the area.
And Nichols is watching. Nichols on the sideline with James Franklin in the ball game. Franklin, just like Rakeem Cato, basically right out of college.
Good news for the Alouettes and their fans. The Kyrus Bear is up and walking off on his own. Just to the left side of your screen there, and then he comes across on this play and just looks like it might have jammed a little bit on him. That was his issue and the reason he was out of the lineup.
Now they're looking at Matt Nichols. Makes you wonder if Nichols is out of this ball game because he got nicked up a little bit here, and he's taken a couple of hits too. This is a guy who has been a hard luck case in the CFL, from knee injury to ankle injury, just clawing to make it back to the lineup. We'll try to get an update from the sideline. Franklin, though, in the pocket now, and converges, and he is brought down. Not sure if that will be recorded as a sack. He might have got back to the initial line of scrimmage. It's going to be third down.
A bit of a stunt from Aaron Laverius and Nicholas Boulay to come around and kind of collapse the pocket on James Franklin on that last play.
They will give the Alouettes a sack. So Steph Logan, they have lost a half yard on the play. Again, defense is tightening the screws in this ball game. Logan now at his 13-yard line. And down he goes. John Ojo flies downfield to make the tackle. Zeros on the board, 3 quarters complete. And once again, a night for the D here in Montreal. Anybody's ball game, 12-10 home side on Thursday Night Football on TSN and ESPN2. Well, in a hockey mad city, the only thing missing is the neutral zone trap in this one. Lots of defense.
Hey, I'm enjoying it.
It is.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, you've got 11 total sacks, 5 turnovers. Defense is making plays. It's a tight game. It's going to go down to the fourth quarter. And you wonder, Rod, about the 2 misses by Grant Shaw. I mean, a guy who you thought that early in his career he struggled a little bit, and you thought that was behind him, going 15-15, and now he's missed 2 in this tight game.
We talked about the defenses before this game, and you saw all the numbers, and Montreal's always had a strong defense here. But it's almost like one of those playoff games where the first team to blink first, and the defenses are not blinking one bit. You wonder, too, if another big turnover might cost someone this game. We'll see. Fourth quarter underway. Rakeem Cato has been sacked 7 times. Now he throws one deep in coverage. Oh, what a catch! My goodness! S.J. Green with a highlight reel grab. Ho-hum.
Well, he couldn't be covered any better, and yet he comes up with it, and I think he just uses the one hand.
This could be one of the catches of the year right here.
In a game that both teams have struggled to make the big offensive play, this one's pretty.
Hauls it in with one arm, and S.J. Green, who makes this stuff look routine, with his left hand, and now Brandon Rutley crashes the middle, bashing up near the 45-yard line. So S.J. Green, who has been quiet in this ball game, one of his quietest of the season. Cato, after a bobbled snap, has to throw it up into coverage.
Takes great concentration, those big mitts by S.J. Green, and he just sticks out that left hand, sticks a fork in it, and brings it down. You can't cover it any better than Marcel Young did there.
Crazy catch from S.J. Green. 2nd and 1. Brandon Rutley meets up with Dexter McCoyle, 2 big bodies. Hard to believe Dexter McCoyle was a free safety in college.
Well, that happens quite often, Rod, when you take a look at the U.S. type of player, style of player, the free safety, strong safeties often move down and play linebacker in the Canadian Football League, and Dexter McCoyle is one of those playmakers.
Told us yesterday that you heard him talk about Rakeem Cato. He had an interception off of Cato when his Tulsa team played against Marshall. Cato now on the roll. Picked off. And after all that, the Edmonton Eskimos have the interception. John Ojo with his 4th pick of the season in his first season in the Canadian Football League. Ojo snuffs this out as they were looking for Fred Stamps.
That now leads the Canadian Football League in an athletic play to get this. Fred Stamps tips it up, but it looked like Ojo had lost the handle and then reaches back and pulls it in. So we saw a big play by S.J. Green, and then the defense steps up, and there's your new interception leader in the Canadian Football League. 2 Edmonton Eskimos on that list. Emmanuel Davis, look at the picks for touchdowns. 11 this year already.
Year of the pick 6. James Franklin will continue to go and throw with the Edmonton Eskimos right now.
And you're talking about Edmonton. Mike Riley is now practicing with the team a little bit. I talked to Ed Hervey before the game. He wants to be obviously real careful with their starter. But Mike Riley on the other side of Labor Day will be reevaluated and could be back for that sort of back third or more than the back half of the season.
Devastating injury again for Riley. I'll tell you what, though, what a quick healer and a warrior in this game. Here comes the host, and Franklin finds Stafford.
Great read.
Kenny Stafford again, another big first down. Some yards after the catch into Montreal territory, and they're going to move this ball down near the 42-yard line. 30-yard pickup.
He got Dominic Ellis, who's playing for Gerald Brown at that halfback spot, to just get up out of his chair and turn quickly. Call it the chair when the defensive back is in that crouch position, backpedaling. Good fast receiver like Kenny Stafford, he'll get you up out of your chair in a hurry.
4 catches, 66 yards. 0 catches, no yards. Fred Stamps. Franklin play action, has time. Rocket on, and what a play by Mitchell White to save a touchdown.
Stafford had him. He had him by a step, and Mitchell White closed quickly because Franklin put some heat on this. He doesn't put much air under it, but what a play, diving across, sacrificing himself and knocking that one out of the air. So Stafford won, Mitchell White won as we go to second down.
Eskimos much more proficient on second down than the Alouettes in this ball game. Again, Franklin in for Matt Nichols. He's on the roll. He's running out of space. And, oh, my goodness, Walker! On a hot potato on the far sideline, Billy Parker had it, and it went into the hands of Walker, and it's close to a first down. It's going to be third down in about 1.5 yards.
You know, maybe Billy Parker is just missing his fellow halfback, Gerald Brown. They played together for 7 years because I don't know how he didn't pick this off. He threw it right to him. Goes through his hands and into the hands of Walker, and I just thought, this is a pick.
Darrell Walker there again. Makes another catch. So Bradshaw, who has been 0 for 2 from the 42. Kick is up, and he's missed another.
Oh, my.
He will get Marco Briette to take a knee and give up a point, but that's 0 for 3 after 21 straight. The hottest kicker in the CFL has run ice cold tonight. 1 point game. 12-11 Alouettes. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Glenn Suter, Rod Block with you. John Liu on the sideline. Our entire crew here in Montreal. Alouettes leading by 1. Rakeem Cato, good catch from Nick Lewis. And Route King Cole is up near the 50-yard line.
Well, this game is there for the taking, and which team is going to just rise up and snatch this win? Go to the veteran, Nick Lewis, not touched down by contact, and picks up a few extra.
Now if they can get Fred Stamps unglued. Stamps comes to the near side of the field. Cato looks to the far side and threading it in. Lewis on one knee, so it's going to be a second down here. Nick Lewis had a good line for us tonight as we're talking with Anwar Stewart, who was the all-time sacks leader, about John Bowman before the game and the theme, and he walks over, he says, yeah, I just wondered if I should be playing D lineman tonight.
Probably could. John Bowman watching on.
Apparently Matt Nichols has gone back to the Eskimo locker room, so clearly something wrong with Nichols. That's why Franklin's in the ballgame. Three-man rush, and again, Cato just pitches it out. Dangerous play, but Sutton makes something out of it. Hit hard by J.C. Sherritt. And that was a dangerous pitch out by Rakeem Cato, but it worked.
Now, did Sutton make the catch here? He had to go real low to get it. If it's a forward pass and touch the ground.
Looked like it did. Tom Valese was right there.
Ruling on the field is incomplete pass.
Yeah, they're ruling that incomplete. They went back and ruled that incomplete as if it's forward, and it looked like it was forward even though it wasn't a normal throwing motion.
Oh, from there, that looks like it's backward.
Now it looks like it's from that angle. It does look like a lateral now, and a lateral
again,
it could bump.
And then that challenge flag has come out. Again, though, you got to be careful with camera angles.
Yeah, exactly. Because the first angle looked like it was forward.
So Tom Higgins, a couple years ago, the director of officiating in the CFL, is 0 for 3 on challenges this season.
Montreal is challenging that the pass was a lateral. We'll review the play.
So Cato is just inside that stripe, and the ball looked like it bounced 3 or 4 yards forward of it. You see where his feet are.
It's almost like you have to take a look at the high angle here, and then... Wow. We talked about mathematicians earlier. You'd have to be almost somebody good with physics here.
Yeah, we're just going to take... I just want to see where, when he throws it, his feet and throwing motion right there. Now, where does that ball end up?
You extend the line.
Boy, that is real close. That is almost right down the line, isn't it?
Now here, that looks like a lateral.
It does, but by the time it bounces, it had moved forward and bounced just in front of the second hash mark.
So Cato's on the sideline awaiting the challenge.
This is going to be a tough one for the CFL control, because the angles that you saw, folks at home, are the same angles that they're going to get. Now it's ruled incomplete, so they need evidence to overturn that. Do they have enough evidence is the question.
If it is overturned, I believe it's still going to be a third down play upcoming, but shorter yardage. They might go for it.
Let's just see.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
So they're saying incomplete. Maybe almost impossible to decipher whether you had enough evidence.
Not enough evidence, yeah.
So
tough on those angles, but it did look like it was slightly forward.
Battle of field position continues. 3rd and 6. Beatty trying to angle one now near his bench. It will fly out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Well, can't get closer. This is the kind of football it's been in the CFL this season. A lot of close games. Down to the wire we go again. 8:47 to go on Thursday Night Football. To the post they go this Sunday. The Breeders' Stakes on TSN. Final race of the Canadian Triple Crown. Live at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on TSN. Down the stretch we go tonight. This is a horse race for a nose-to-nose. 12-11. Wins a high shot to the sideline. James Franklin got it away too quickly, and it sailed on him.
Yeah, he just rushed it. The quarterback just rushed it. Knew it the moment he let it go.
If you're just joining us, Franklin is into the ball game. For a moment, we thought maybe to get Matt Nichols a look. His offense was sputtering a bit, but Nichols has been on the sideline and in the locker room and hasn't returned. Eskimos have had enough injury problems at quarterback. Franklin's a good one, though. 2nd and 10. Here comes the rush. Franklin escapes now, and off the back foot, goes downfield, and unable to make the catch is Stafford. There's a penalty flag, though, and it was in the backfield. Stafford almost made that catch, unbelievably.
And he got hit.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 17. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So Billy Parker
will keep
the Eskimos on the field.
I want to say that's a second for him. They're trying to shake. Stafford's trying to shake it off. He was hit by Dominic Ellis as he tried to regroup, and that's a second call for illegal contact on Billy Parker. And there's been some rumors around Montreal. That's one of the reasons Gerald Brown has been sort of put on the sideline, did not dress for this one. Dominic Ellis did. It's because he was having problems overcoming the rules. There's Gerald Brown right there.
Gerald Brown missing the last 2 games. A perennial starter and really an all-star for the Alouettes for so many years. Franklin now hangs in, swinging it out to Bailey. To the 30, up near the 35. And then he is walloped by Winston Venable, but Bailey gets the last laugh because he has a first down.
Boise State steps up, makes a nice hit here, but Devin Bailey is equal to the task. Devin Bailey says, yeah, good hit, but I got the first down first.
Winston Venable has been a revelation for the Alouettes. Starting linebacker, Kyrie St-Pierre trying to blitz in that time, but Shakir Bell was off up the gut, up near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, caught him in a stunt. You're right, Rod. The stunt from Kyrie St-Pierre was between the guard and the tackle, and Bell ran between the tackle and the center, so it was the ideal offensive run play call with the stunt that was called by Noel Thorpe for Kyrie St-Pierre.
Bear's first game of the season, coming off the 6-game injured list. James Franklin out of Mizzou. Really just out of college football. In the fire here. Handing it off again, and slipping a little bit was Bell, but he's got the first down.
Shakir Bell's getting it out. There's a late penalty flag way back behind James Franklin.
Holding. Edmonton number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
They'll repeat second down now. Andrew Jones, another infraction here tonight.
Andrew Jones is at right guard. Alan Michael Cash is the guy he's working on, and
Eskimos.
7th penalty for them.
Average 11 a game. Here come the Alouettes again. Franklin has to deliver the football. What a first game Errol Walker is having for the Edmonton Eskimos.
You know,
22-yard pickup.
In some ways, Rod, this makes a little sense because throughout camp, throughout the work week, James Franklin will throw to Darrell Walker, who is on the roster for Darius Bowman, because they'd be playing the scout team together. So he's working to this receiver that they know each other very well. Yeah, 8 for 114 yards in a game that's been dominated by both defenses.
It's a heck of a game for Walker. Again, his first. They'll send out 4 receivers. Franklin's going deep and running under the football, looking for Bailey, and a late flag comes down. And it'll be interference here. Eskimos celebrate on the sideline as Bailey went flying at the end.
Pass interference. Montreal number 32. Point of foul. Automatic first down.
I was about to say Devin Bailey slowed and then tried to catch up and run under this one, and that was a mistake by him. But because he kept after it, challenge flag by Tom Higgins on that pass interference on Mitchell White.
Ball was overthrown by that point.
There's a subtle push in the back, but it looked like the ball was past him when the left arm comes over the shoulder pads.
That there was not a defensive pass interference.
I think this is a challenge this is a good challenge by Tom Higgins. We'll take a look and see how they rule on this, but
he's already lost one challenge here tonight. 5:47 to go.
You know, Mitchell White with that left arm goes over the shoulder pads, but it looked like the ball had gone by then. And I'm not sure that Devin Bailey was going to run under that anyway. That looked like it wasn't as far. But he hesitated. Had he just ran his route full speed from start to finish, that would have landed right in his mitts.
And a receiving core without a Darius Bowman and Nate Kuhorn and others tonight.
After review, there is no pass interference on the play. The ball will be placed at the 52-yard line going in. It'll be second down.
Tom Higgins celebrates. That's his first successful challenge this season.
And this is exactly why the rules committee put in that the coaches were able to challenge defensive pass interference. That would have been a game-changing call. The correct call is made on the challenge.
Really, that entire penalty and that new rule that came out last year is all because of what happened here with Duron Carter. They added video replay.
But that was the correct call. The ball was by when Mitchell White put his hands over the shoulder pad of Devin Bailey. So they get it right after the challenge, but it allowed that rule change, allowed the officials to get it right, because that would have been a game changer, or could have been.
Absolutely, they would have had the ball near the 10-yard line. So now, second down and 10. After that challenge, won by the Alouettes. Franklin deep drop. Now, if he wants to, he can run. But he waits, and now he is dropped by Aaron Lavarius at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he had no choice. James Franklin has to hang on to this, because if he tries to throw it, he's forcing it, and it's likely turned over. You take a look. Go ahead and run it here, guys. Now, Franklin's going to get outside. Go ahead and run it. I'll show you how covered. He only has two receivers to the short side of the field. So now, hold it right here. He gets out, and he's ready to throw. One's there covered very well. Two's covered by two Montreal Alouettes. No targets open, and he does the right thing just by hanging on and regrouping.
Bradshaw's had a dreadful night, field goal attempts, but has been very good punting it. This one is sending Steph Logan into his end zone. He's going to run it out along the goal line. A bad choice there. Gives up one. And again, it's quarterback Jordan Lynch. He's got 5 special teams tackles now.
Well, that ties the game. I mean, that's a huge one.
Steph Logan thinking about running it out.
How about Jordan Lynch? The third-team quarterback is covering kicks, moving up the list in special teams tackles in the league. His teammate, by the way, Dion Lacey, leads the CFL in special teams tackle. He's also the personal protector back there that gets them all lined up right. That's a backup quarterback. You got to love that as a teammate, to have your quarterback covering kicks.
I always thought Mike Riley was the toughest quarterback in the CFL just because of the stuff that he's gone through.
You got to love that.
This guy's crazy good.
Well, and the other thing is it gives Chris Jones a chance to run a fake with a quarterback back there.
Versatile player, again, a guy who can play tailback if needed. 12-12. Now Brandon Rumley. Not seen many touches tonight. Big game last week against Ottawa. 4-yard pickup. Second down again, where the Alouettes have struggled tonight.
By the way, just to update you on the how many times that Chris Jones will rush and go all blitz or just rush 4 or 3, it's been 14. No blitz, 8, 5 or more rushing the quarterback. So less than half.
Cato draws it to Lewis. And for only the 3rd time on 2nd down tonight, that's now 3 for 15 on 2nd downs for the Alouettes. They'll move it to the 55-yard line, right to the midfield stripe. They'll keep the drive going.
That's another big catch by Lewis. And, you know, we talked about Fred Stamps, who's not having a big night. I don't think he has a catch. They tried to hit him deep, and that's part of this trade. But this is where the 2 veterans, Nick Lewis and Fred Stamps, become so valuable, and that's why they made those moves.
4 for 43 for the veteran Lewis.
Way outside.
Yeah, it looked like Josh Burke's going to get flagged here for procedure.
Yeah, Burke and Nick Lewis probably moved off his movement because Nick Lewis was 3 yards.
Well, Josh Burke, one of the captains of this team, with those words before the ball game.
Procedure, Montreal number 59, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Saying that his team wanted to win this one for number 7 tonight for John Bowman, not in the lineup. There's the procedure call.
Just rolled back. Now he's not in a 3-point stance. He can get away with a little more movement. I think he moved his left foot though.
1st and 15, deep drop for Cato. Slings it out. Sammy Giguère hangs on up near the 50-yard line. Picked up 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
TD last week for Sam Giguère, and he's making up for that drop on 3rd down earlier on. 3 receivers, and he's number 3 to the wide side of the field. Again, a small window, but Keem Cato gets it in there.
Barring penalty, final play before the warning. Cutting up the middle is Steph Logan on 2nd down and 6. And the Alouettes likely are going to have to kick here. It's going to be 3rd and about 3 or 4 yards. It's 3-minute warning time. It's a tie ball game at 12 in Montreal on Thursday Night Football. A dozen apiece here. Boris Beatty's on the field. Will launch from near his 50-yard line. Kendall Lawrence back near his 5. Beatty's definitely going to angle this. And we'll see how effective he is.
Can't get it out of bounds. Kendall Lawrence is leading the CFL coming in all-purpose yards, combined yards. 150 a game. He's capable.
Line drive shot. Right to Lawrence. Good block there. And Kendall Lawrence picking his way up. Just past the 15-yard line. Long snapper Martin Bedard downfield very quickly to gun him down, and so 2:38 remains in a game where we haven't seen too many sustained drives. It could come down to the foot of either kicker. And Nichols is back, but it doesn't look like he's coming back in this ballgame.
So young James Franklin, you've got 238. You've got the length of the field. You're playing against a very good Montreal defense on the road. Exactly, you got him exactly where you want him. 6 of 10, 115 yards. He finished it off versus Winnipeg when Matt Nichols started. Let's see if he can do it again.
3 touchdowns.
Group, yeah.
3 touchdowns in that game. Franklin came in relief of Nichols. That was performance-based. Nichols looks like he got banged up in this one. Now Franklin has time to the sideline, and snaring it over there is Walker again. Great debut for this guy, 87.
They wanted to go deep there, and Walker just broke that off.
Another critical 2nd down, Glenn Suter.
Interesting call here offensively. Most underrated play in football to me is the screen, and this is right about where I might run it.
Got someone like Bell or Lawrence, even Calvin McCarty when he's in the ball game. 2:15 to go, crowd on its feet. Franklin going deep instead. Downfield, almost making the catch was Corey Watson. But penalty flags fly.
Now, Billy Parker, who has 2 illegal contacts tonight, is saying that it was offensive on Corey Watson.
Illegal contact, Montreal number 17. That penalty is declined. First down.
And that's a hat trick for Parker. When it comes to the hand fighting, they want to let that go.
The ruling was incomplete pass, so we'll apply the penalty. It'll be a first down.
The first two calls, I think there were no question illegal contact beyond the 5 yards. This one's a little closer. Both players positioning and hand fighting for the football.
2-minute drill now for the young James Franklin. Pitches it out now. On the far side. Picking up the first down, grinding for about 13 yards was Shakir Bell.
Shakir Bell is gutting it out tonight. I mean, he hurt his ankle early on, and they taped it up, put basically a cast on it. He's got 63 yards rushing on 9 carries, and he's just gutting it out now.
So Franklin has time to put this into field goal range at the very least.
Little double check to the play there.
Again, rookie quarterback, not much experience, will keep it on the ground. Dropped for a loss.
Gabriel Napton just steps up the field and cuts off the lane. Calvin McCarty, sorry, Rod, but Calvin McCarty was trying to step up and get the block on him, and that's a matchup that as good as Calvin McCarty is, in that matchup, I'd take Napton. McCarty trying to cut him off, and he just steps up, throws him aside, and makes a tackle.
Second down and 12. Might we see that screen you talked about right here? Alouettes will rush 3. Franklin, there's the screen. Hands it off to Walker, who will not get the first down. So with 1:14 to go, Bradshaw will come out, but not for a field goal attempt, but to punt the football away. And Montreal is going to have a chance to get it in field goal range. Because you have a feeling in this game, the way the second half has been going, good chance nobody's going to score an offensive touchdown here. Defense has been so good.
Still could be a defensive score that changes it. Let's see.
Shaw boot this from near his 38-yard line, but Steph Logan is back. This is a big kick. Logan now waits for some blocks. The speed burner now cuts back. Down he goes near the 22-yard line. All right, Rakeem Cato, 13 of 20, 173 yards with a pick in this ball game. Talks with Turk Schonert.
Now he needs a chunk somewhere along here. He needs a chunk play about 20-25 yards to get them into field goal range. It doesn't have to be on this down, or it could be after the first down achieved if they can get it done. But he's going to need a chunk at some point. And that usually means they dial up number 19, S.J. Green.
Made one big catch for sure. A couple of grabs in this ball game. And again, silence tonight is number 2, Fred Stamps.
So far.
So far. S.J. Green. Cato looks towards him in pursuit. Odell Willis has the hat trick. 3 sacks tonight.
And just like that, he's climbing right back in the race. Odell Willis, that stand-up rush-in position, working on an all-star in Josh Bird. Stumbled and got to it for the 8th sack of the night for the Edmonton Eskimos.
How big is this play right now? Look at that. 12 sacks in the ball game. If Montreal can't get the first down, they have to put it away. They'll have to manage the clock here. Edmonton could get great field position and still get another chance to kick a field goal. It could be muted here if Montreal gets the first down. Cato, though, flips it out to Sutton. Terrell Sutton buried there by Dexter McQuell. He goes down near the 22 with 35 left. So indeed, Edmonton is going to get this football back. And with the way the clock looks right now, might get a chance.
Edmonton.
Edmonton calls their timeout. use it there, which is correct from Chris Jones. So the clock won't start again until the ball is snapped.
Choctaw County. Hey, they breed them great up out that city, baby. We here, Yantley, County Road 46, 156, Cromwell, Hauser, Riderwood. Hey, Choctaw County.
Did you get it?
I got everything.
Okay, good.
So now, Beatty
Columbus.
needs a huge kick, and he gets one. Sends Lawrence back to his 45, to midfield. And the clock ticks down to 26. Now, Grant Shaw, who has missed 3 field goals.
Oh, and it's wearing on him right now. You can bet that Grant Shaw has that right in the front of his mind as the misses. Would have been 7 points. Of the 3, Montreal gave up 2 singles.
Longest career field goal is 52. Wind has subsided tonight. Longest this season, 44. Came into this game, had made 21 straight, dating back to last season. Has missed 3. It could come down to his foot. James Franklin, rookie quarterback at the helm here. From the 51. Franklin, quick hitter on the far sideline. And it is Devin Bailey making a great catch. Over top of Mitchell White. And well within Shaw's range now.
Yeah,
17 to go.
James Franklin has thrown this ball a couple of times tonight very well to the back shoulder of his wide receiver, Devin White. Little shake move on the line on Mitchell White, or Devin Bailey, and nice catch, gets out of bounds. And you're right, Rod, they're in field goal range. Now, does he have a short memory, or is it going to haunt him?
Noel Thorpe, 17, couple shots here for the Eskimos. They'll keep it on the ground. Trying to get it to the hash mark. This is well within Grant Shaw's range. He's missed tonight from the 46, the 32, and the 42. Now again,
I might try it here
from this area, and this is what they're doing.
Yeah, don't run another play, because if the snap is bobbled on second down before the time runs out, unless Chris Jones wants to run the 12 and go right down to this being a walk-off. But Shaw has missed 3, and he's missed badly.
So Grant Shaw, redemption. Grant Shaw. Who cares about the 3 misses? That one was huge. Game winner. Final play, final kick, and Grant Shaw wins the ball game. The Edmonton Eskimos escape Montreal thanks to the foot of Grant Shaw, who had missed 3 times earlier.
No mistake here. Splits it right down the middle. The hold, bang on. Jordan Lynch, who's outstanding special teams play all game long, also contributed. Nice hold, and Chris Jones says, well, he missed 3, but he made the one that they needed most.
So the Edmonton Eskimos, the first team to 5 here in the Canadian Football League in 2015. Time now for our Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the CFL. And one of his plays came late in this ball game and pushed the Alouettes into that situation.
He had 3. Odell Willis, 3 sacks on the night. And you're right, Ron, this was a big one because the field position changed, and it gave the Edmonton Eskimos and James Franklin one more shot at one play. They hit Devin Bailey. That sets up field goal range for Grant Shaw, and he does not make a 4th mistake.
Nissan Titan Player of the Game. The Montreal Alouettes fall to 2-5. Defenses rule the roost tonight in Montreal, and Grant Shaw is able to avenge 3 misses. Comes down to his foot. Last shot, last kick. Game winner. Eskimos are 5-2. Week 8 is underway. What else do we have but close Canadian Football League action? 15-12, the final here tonight in Montreal for our entire crew. Good night, everybody. Hope you enjoy Thursday night football. Sports Center's coming up right now.